to the inauguration of the 66th Mayor and Council of Rockville. My name is Eileen McGuckie, and I'm honored to be part of today's historic occasion. You've been listening for the last couple of minutes, and you will again to the Richard Montgomery High School Jazz Ensemble. And I have an introduction for Dr. Perry, but these guys are conducting themselves today, so they're doing very well. But I loved hearing many of them recently at the Addams Family musical that was at Richard Montgomery. And I can attest that all these guys are rocket star musicians. So thank all of you, thank you for getting up. Thank all of you for coming today. Now if you're able, would you please stand as the Rockville Police Color Guard posts the colors, and then remain standing for our national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the invocation. This color guard was formed by former police chief Terry Treshik in 1997. This is a select group of volunteer officers who represent the city police department at local functions such as Montgomery College graduations, inaugurations, public safety awards, police academy graduations, and most importantly, represents the Rockville Police as they pay tribute to fallen officers at memorial services. I'd like to introduce Amanda Knox. She comes, okay. Amanda is the Special Events Coordinator for Recreation and Parks, and she will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Order. Right. Right. Forward.
Reverend Mansfield Caseman is an icon of Rockville, who is honored for his life's work at Mansfield Caseman Health Clinic, operated by Community Ministries of Rockville, now known as Community Reach. Casey?
I invite you to pray with me. O Holy One who goes by many, many names, and yet is beyond them all, we give thanks for the gift of this crisp fall day and for this cherished opportunity to once again hear our national anthem, pledge our allegiance, and participate in this inaugural ceremony, whereby our mayor and council are empowered to create a more beloved city, a place where every basic human need is met, every human right respected, and whose streets are undimmed by human tears. We thank you for their willingness to assume the sacred trust of governing your people, and together with their families, make sacrifices for the sake of advancing the common good. We thank you for all who have been engaged in this election and all who serve on the various boards and commissions, staff, and the volunteers who sustain our democratic process. We pray that every one of us may appreciate the gift of being part of one human family, made in your image and called to love mercy, seek and act justly, and walk humbly with you. In a time of discord and division, hatred and violence, equip our elected officials and each of us with sufficient wisdom and courage to reach beyond all lines of difference and create a more equitable, inclusive, and compassionate community. In this hour, we pray for your healing, reconciling, and empowering spirit to move within and among us, revealing the better angels of our nature and leading us into a more promising future. We ask it in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. So it is my pleasure to recognize the elected officials who are with us this afternoon. And I have some names down here, and I cannot see the rest of you. So I'm going to ask for your help, and we'll go from top to bottom. At the highest level, Ken Reichert is here for for Senator Ben Cardin. Ken, are you? And Jerry Klabuski is the current president of the Board of Commissioners for the for the town of Poolesville, and also he is the new president of the Montgomery County Municipal League, the chapter. So, so at the state level, I saw Jim Gilchrist, and any of your colleagues here? Cheryl Kagan, okay. At the county level, we could not have this ceremony without Sid Katz. With his lovely wife, Sally. Is there anyone else here any colleagues here from the county council? Okay, okay. But in keeping with Sid's longtime attendance of Rockville things, Lori Ann Sales is here from the city of Gaithersburg on the city council. Interrupt me if there's someone else at these levels that I should be. Oh, okay. Hello there. Neil Harris. Thank you. Okay. All right, then we'll move on to former mayors. I understand that Steve Van Brack is here. And give a shout out if other people in these categories are here that I don't know. And then former council members saw Bob Wright. we're going to have to include Virginia only in this category, just for today. Okay. And Jim Marinen's here. Okay. Okay. So thank you to the color guard, to Miss Knox, to Reverend Caseman, and this is my time to have my 5 minutes in the sun, and they are right there. Okay. So as you probably know, I always try to get a little history in, so I'm going to be doing that right now. Some of you may be surprised to learn that Rockville has been a place on the map since the 1750s. It was selected as the seat of Montgomery County government in 1776, and it became an independent municipality in 1860. Now, whatever were the voters of Rockville, that is, 66 free white males, thinking when they petitioned the Maryland General Assembly to incorporate the village of Rockville? How did they expect that this change in legal status from a settlement within rural Montgomery County to a separate political entity would change their lives? Well, I believe that by 1860, Rockville's 365 residents identified closely with the place where they lived and worked. Those voters and our first 3 town commissioners had ideas of what Rockville could be and do, separate from the county. Certainly, this vision included better streets and services, more responsiveness to citizens, local control over finances, and decisions about future growth. Our first 3 town commissioners were a carpenter who worshiped at St. Mary's, a farmer who also practiced law, and a shopkeeper. All 3 of these men owned slaves, although the shopkeeper had given his up before his wife would marry him. One was a local secessionist leader, another was a unionist who was captured by Jeb Stuart when he came to town in 1863, and the third passed away soon after his term was up. So for 28 years after incorporation, our town was governed by commissioners for Rockville. Sometimes they were chosen by the county, sometimes they were chosen by our voters. But in 1888, a new charter changed the official name of the corporation, as well as the title of our elected officials, to the Mayor and Council of Rockville, and that's what we are today. One public official who bridged that change was Edward E. Stonestreet, who served as a commissioner from 1882 to 88, and on the very first mayor and council here from 1888 to 1890. Dr. Stonestreet practiced medicine here for 51 years, caring for anyone who would call upon him, regardless of who they were or whether they could pay. Citizenship was as important to the doctor as his medical service to the community. Dr. Stonestreet is here today as a special guest. Dr. Stonestreet, would you wait for us, please? How the decision to incorporate played it out over the following 159 years is the history of Rockville's government. How we evolved from a sleepy county seat to Maryland's 3rd or 4th largest city, depending on whether Rockville or Gaithersburg claims more newborns this month. With services and facilities and abundant green space and opportunities for involvement that few small cities can claim. Over the years, the makeup of our mayor and council has changed. For nearly a century, Rockville was governed by white males. Racial segregation was the practice in Maryland, and most wives ran the household while some of their husbands ran for office. Those times began to change in 1968 when Rupert Curry was elected as our first black council member. 4 years later, the first woman was elected to the council, Jean Horney. Interestingly, with the exception of Larry Giamo, every Rockville mayor since 1995 has been female. That's a good thing. In Rockville, which was voted in one recent poll as one of the best small cities in America, for the next 4 years we are fortunate to be represented by a pleasantly diverse group of intelligent, talented, dedicated, and compassionate individuals. Each one brings different experiences and perspectives to the job. This mayor and council will be responsible for listening to those of us who live, work, and play here, for maintaining our traditions, developing fresh initiatives, and directing city staff for the good of our splendid small city. The common denominator remains their commitment to our community, and we who elect them continue to expect great things. We wish them wisdom, good health, patience, and Godspeed. So let's continue to make history and move on to the important business of today, swearing in the 66th Mayor and Council of Rockville. So I'd like to introduce first and welcome her up to the podium, the Honorable Barbara Michaeljohn, to administer the oath of office. Starting in 1888, every Rockville mayor has been sworn in by the clerk of the circuit court for Montgomery County. Yeah. I'm also proud to introduce to you, for the purpose of taking the oath of office as mayor of Rockville, Mayor-elect Bridget Donnell Newton. Although Ms. Newton once referred to herself as the accidental mayor, she is here today to be sworn in for her third term in office. Please come with your family members.
Say your name and then continue to repeat after me. I,
Bridget Donnell Newton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of Mayor for Rockville
of Mayor for Rockville
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and laws of the state.
Congratulations.
One problem, because I'm left-handed. As Monique's family is coming up, I'd like to introduce my family, my husband, Fred Newton. I'll just go through the rest of them so you don't have to clap for everyone. But daughter Meg and new husband Anthony Baccio. Sister Jane, all the way from Cleveland, and our son Kyle Newton.
Okay, so next in alphabetical order, the new mayor is going to introduce each member of the council, and they will come up to the podium and introduce their family members, and then each will be given the oath of office and sign the oath.
I'd like to welcome Monique Ashton.
I am very thankful to have my family here. They come from all over, but they are who I am. And so my husband, George Ashton, daughter, Sydney Ashton, son, Andrew Ashton, and then I have some in-laws here, Margaret and Vincent Rowan, George and Linda Ashton. And folks who know me well know that I don't have any living parents or grandparents. But I'm very thankful that my Uncle Tony surprised me last night, and his wife, Lucy Fernando. So, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, I'll say aye, and you say your name. I, Tony Ashton, do affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of council member
execute the office of council
of the city of Rockville
of the city of Rockville,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of the state.
and laws of the state.
Congratulations. Beryl Feinberg. Beryl is joined by husband Ed Feinberg. Raise your right hand and please repeat after me and you'll say your name.
I, Beryl L. Feinberg,
Do affirm that I will
do affirm that I will
support the Constitution of the United States
support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of council member
execute the office of council
of
member
the city of Rockville
of the city of Rockville
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Dr. David Eric Miles.
So before I introduce my own family, I don't know if Ed Feinberg got an introduction, so Ed? family's been supremely supportive, but to get me to this point, it has taken a village, and that's what you see behind me. So I have my wife, Tanisha, Nia, my daughter. So my mom, Cynthia Roberts. And dad and his wife, David. So this is the original David Miles. We used to call him Big David, and that was Low David, but we kind of switched. And his wife, they were coming from Chicago. And then the reason I'm actually here in the first place is that I followed my little brother, which is Stephen right there. And his beautiful family. They're 3 generations in Montgomery County, right? My sister-in-law who's here with all their kids. So I have my sister-in-law, Kathy, Charles, Lauren, I call her Skittles, Don, and Layla.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
David Miles,
do affirm that I will
do affirm that I will
support the Constitution of the United States
support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of council member of the city of Rockville according to the Constitution
and
laws of the state. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can tell he's a doctor. It's a fast signature.
And illegible.
All right, last but not least, Mark Pershala.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce my family. My wife, Leslie Cross. My 2 daughters, Esme and Vita. My mother, Norma Pershala. My sister, Ellen Pershala. And my brother-in-law, Kelvin Williams. Just a note about Leslie, she became a citizen in 2016, and so this is her first election where she could actually vote for me.
All right, if you'll repeat after me. I
Mark Pershala,
do affirm that I will
do affirm that I will
support the Constitution of the United States,
support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of council member of the city of Rockville according to the Constitution and laws of the state. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Mayor and Council of Rockville. And then it is my pleasure to give you once again Mayor Bridget Donnell Newton.
Oh, wow. Good afternoon. I'd like to begin by thanking each of you for being here with us today to share this honor as we become the 66th Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville. This is a very exciting day. A few of us may be a wee bit nervous. Doesn't matter how often I speak, I'm always nervous. We are grateful to be able to celebrate with our families, friends, supporters, and those who love Rockville. And who doesn't love Rockville? Amen. There are a few students in the audience, budding advocates, future leaders, and I feel confident that some of you will sit on this very stage someday as you become the council of 20-something. Sorry, 2000-something. Thank you for coming. Keep up your activism and keep us on our toes. As we come together to start a new term, let's also thank those who ran with us. It was a crowded field, a hardworking and mostly collegial group. Candidates represented a cross-section of viewpoints and neighborhoods. And though there wasn't a lot of time for debating the true details about the issues, there were some thoughtful and well-spoken proposals for supporting and protecting our environment, our neighbors and neighborhoods, increasing housing for all, and channeling our growth in a smart way, just to name a few. Thank you for putting yourselves out there, for sharing your visions and ideas, for the energy you brought to the discussion, and your willingness to get involved. On behalf of all of us, I hope you will stay engaged and help us as we pledge to work together to represent all of Rockville. Multi-time Pulitzer Prize winner Carl Bard said, "Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending." While I have held elected office for several terms and thought that I wasn't going to run again, the overwhelming engagement of our citizens throughout the city suggested another path lay ahead. And while this has been a super crazy, busy fall, I thank my family and everyone here for your patience and support. Your encouragement, love, and understanding of my need to finish some of the things that we've started in Rockville gave me the go-ahead to follow my heart, and continue serving the city I love. And with this new council beside me, I see a brand new ending for many of the opportunities on our incredible city's horizon. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you ever can. I read that poem by John Wesley at this gathering on November 15th, 2015, and I continue to believe that together we will. Though sometimes it's difficult to understand the outcome of elections, why the voters choose as they do, it is my belief that once determined, it becomes the inherent responsibility of those confirmed to come together and serve the people, working together in the best interest of the greater good, in this case, the 70,000 plus residents of our city who are counting on us to do the right thing. The 66th Council of the City of Rockville has a full plate, and I'm grateful for the willingness on the part of each council member to meet with me in the past 2 weeks and agree that together we will get things done. We will not come from the same frame of reference, as we have varied backgrounds and experiences, but we can and must come together to reach the best decision for our community. Last week, I participated in the Maryland Public Policy Conflict Resolution Fellows Program, an effort jointly sponsored by the University of Maryland, Baltimore, the University of Maryland Francis Carey School of Law, and the Maryland Judiciary. The 2-day intensive program works to build a growing network of distinguished Maryland leaders from the public and private sectors. Their words. I'm not sure how I was chosen to receive an invitation, but I am honored to now be a member of the class of 2019. And I will use the tools we were taught to help our council reframe our discussions so that we better serve the public and strive for that win-win. With two new, and may I say younger, council members, we have an opportunity to tap into their perspective and experiences. And though three of us are, well, more seasoned, shall we say, I see a wonderful opening for this mayor and council to craft new and exciting endings to the many opportunities on our future agendas. Last month, Rockville was named one of the 2019 Best Small Cities in America. I have long said that Rockville is a small town in a big city, and we must see this and other Best City honors as validation that we are moving forward in the right direction. Like a skull on the river, we will go further and faster if we row together. The Rockville Pedestrian and Advocacy Committee is an example of how we are working together to address a critical need, and we need to move forward with intention on safety issues if we truly want to be a walkable and bikeable city and attain the goal of Vision Zero. Attending the vigil yesterday for Cha-Cha, as she was known by the children she cared for, we vowed that hers would be the last fatality in the city of Rockville. Though we will do everything we can to bring equity to each neighborhood and protection to our walkers and bikers, it will take all of us pulling together. Passing the Stone Street Plan, working with MCPS to move their trailers and storage buildings to a more appropriate location, turning Stone Street into a thriving, safe, and interesting connection between neighborhoods, showcasing all the local art and culture. Let's ensure that it's walkable, bikeable, allows for local businesses, restaurants, and much-needed mixed income, workforce, and affordable housing. Oh, and please, let's underground the utilities. Last winter, we came to a town hall meeting to discuss our concerns about Town Square, which continues to deal with a challenging retail environment. I thank Frit, Federal Realty, for the recent management changes, Ready, Rockville Economic Development, for their involvement in convening a CEO stakeholders work group, and the city for engaging ULI in a holistic study of the opportunities we must pursue. This council will be working on next steps for the former Redgate Golf Course and the King Farm Farmstead, each of which is an opportunity to bring all aspects of arts and culture to Rockville, to support and enhance a city amenity, and bring gathering places of different types for all ages. The 2015 Mayor and Council unanimously supported the county's approval of the Washington Council of Governments 2040 goal for more housing, and I strongly hope that we will look at a continuum of housing, as we must support the addition of homes that fit all needs and all budgets. We need to revisit our MPDU program to ensure that we are supporting home ownership in the best possible way, and work with RHE, Rockville's affordable housing entity, so that everyone lives in a safe and accessible home. We must listen to our community and allow them to lead the way on their neighborhood plans, as happened recently in East Rockville, where the community approved a plan that is inclusive and supports their history and vision for the future of their neighborhood. We must protect our historic resources, our grand dames, as some of our Victorian homes are called, as Rockville's future is predicated upon our past. Peerless Rockville just celebrated their 40th anniversary, and we have a rich and storied history in our city. Not all of it is wonderful, but if we can learn from the past, we will move forward to a more inclusive and equitable city for everyone. By working with our partners in the county, MCPS, developers, WMATA, and MARC, we will find the common ground on future plans and goals, and the city of Rockville and all of us will be better for the collaborations. But one thing is certain, in all of these instances, this council must work with each other, with our staff and development partners, with all stakeholders, and that includes residents, neighborhood leaders, businesses, small and large. Everyone must be a part of the conversation. We must come together to frame a new ending. I am so pleased to be serving with council members Monique Ashton, Beryl Feinberg, Dr. David Miles, and Mark Pershala. Each brings their own individual strengths and knowledge to their position and will enhance our deliberations. In speaking with all of them recently, I know they will enthusiastically put forth the effort that is required to serve the people of Rockville. In 2013, I spoke of hope. Hope for that term, hope for our city, hope that the new council would seize the opportunity to work together and bring Rockville to new heights. In 2015, I spoke of trust. I said that as we enter the season of Thanksgiving, let us trust. Trust each other that our intentions are good and that we will do all that we can. Today, on November 17th, 2019, I say again, let us hope and let us trust. And as Martin Luther King Jr. once said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And friends, as we take this first step together, let us bring our best selves, our childlike acceptance, our open minds, and our willingness to see the possibilities, so that together we will serve the people who elected us as the 2019 City of Rockville Mayor and Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
It now gives me great privilege and honor to introduce Hannah Chen, local student from Lakewood Elementary School. Will you please welcome Hannah Chen?
Leadership. Leaders that can motivate others, encourages people to achieve their goal, accountability to deal with all kinds of situations, decision-making for the benefits of our community, empowers the people around us, responsible to complete any job, smart thinking to make an impact, honesty shows you care, inspires others to think outside of the box, passionate for a better world.
Hannah is one of those people that Bridget was talking about being up here in a few years. Okay, so no one can sing well sitting down, so I ask you to stand and sing America the Beautiful. And that'll be followed by the benediction and retirement of the colors. You do not want me to start this song in this way. Is Amanda still here?
Of Please remain standing.
Reverend Jane Wood represents at least the 4th generation of her family to live. 5, okay, to reside in Rockville. Now retired, she continues to serve the United Methodist Church in Rockville.
God be in your head and in your understanding. God be in your eyes and in your looking. God be in your mouth and in your speaking. God be in your heart and in your thinking. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of eternal light. Amen? Amen.
I don't know if you noticed that several council members were sworn in with their hands on their family Bibles. It's a nice touch. So our program is going to conclude with the Rockville Police Color Guard retiring the colors, and I'm going to make a few announcements right now. If you will keep standing until the colors are retired and the mayor and council have exited the stage, that would be good. Immediately following the ceremony, the mayor and council will invite you to join them for a reception in the theater lobby. And I introduced Dr. Stonestreet earlier, who's visiting us from his resting place next door at Rockville Cemetery. So I hope you will take time to talk with Dr. Stonestreet in the lobby. You can ask him about his experiences during the Civil War, and maybe he can dispense a little bit of 19th century medical advice. And if you have time on this crisp afternoon, Rockville Cemetery Association invites you next door to stroll around the upper cemetery, where you can see markers of dozens of previous Rockville commissioners, mayors, and council members, including Dr. Stonestreet and his family, and you'll see dozens and dozens of local street signs. Rockville's cable channel, Rockville 11, will televise replays of today's program. It can also be accessed through video on demand. That link, along with the replay schedule of today's ceremony, can be found on the city's website. And then lastly, I'd like to express appreciation for all those who participated in today's program, all those who took the oaths of office today's program, and for all of you for attending today. Thank you. Color guard?
There's no color guard.
Well, there's no color guard? They went home. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Mayor and council will stay on the stage for a couple of minutes to take photographs, and I'll see the rest of you in the lobby, and thank you for coming.